On the 6th episode of our journey in Baldur's Gate 3, we continue the main quest to find Haslin the Druid and run into the goblins guarding the castle where he's held hostage. Gandalf easily convinces the goblins that he's a senior manager of the scam team, and the goblins let our party pass safely. We move forward until a man teleports right in front of the party's faces. He yaps for quite an annoyingly long time. He eventually introduces himself as Raphael, something that he probably should have said before jamming gibberish down the party's ears. The player, who was bored and already was looking at his phone, wasn't paying attention to the conversation, and thus was surprised when Raphael teleports the party into a fancy dinner hall. The player was so surprised that he made Gandalf break character for a little bit, immediately demanding for Raphael to explain what's all this. Raphael obliges to explain, and transforms into the devil himself. Raphael is a creature of immense magical power, and offers to solve the party's problems. He claims that not only can he remove the scam baby growing in their bodies, but do it instantly and easily, just like snapping a finger. Gandalf will normally fall for scams, but not when he's literally facing the devil, so he taunts Raphael to do the procedure and remove the scam. To no one's surprise, Raphael doesn't do it. Instead, he asks Gandalf to explore the world, try to find a cure, become desperate to find there is none, and come back to Raphael only when the party is in unimaginable despair. Basically, he's like Professor Oak telling players they're going to have a grand adventure, but he's evil. We get kicked out of the mansion. Immediately, our companions voice their concerns about a devil tailing the party, and none of them want any deals with the devil. Gandalf agrees as well, and the party moves on. The party runs into magically infected hyenas, who were turning into deadly gnolls. The player, full of hubris, allows the hyena to fully transform into gnolls right in front of the party, instead of killing it on the spot. The gnolls come out of the hyenas, and there's more infected hyenas that will spawn more gnolls. A fight ensues, and at first, the gnolls seem to be a small and easy group to dispatch. However, one of the healthy hyenas ran away from the fight and got help from other nearby gnolls. With new gnolls spawning from the dying infected hyenas, and the reinforcements coming in, there was just too many enemies. The party was eventually wiped out, and the player reloaded a save. It's almost as if this whole problem could have been avoided if the player just killed the hyenas first, but alas, regret comes last. The player, having learned nothing from the previous encounter, allowed the gnolls to spawn once again. And, once again, reinforcements were about to come. However, Shadowheart is the MVP and lands a 45% chance fire mote.
Pulls up, three-pointer! Bang! Bang! It's good!
Shadowheart nails it. The hyena dies, exactly one turn before the hyena reaches the reinforcements. We kill the rest of the gnolls, and by the skin of our teeth, somehow survive. We continue on to see a bridge full of carnage between gnolls and humans. Past the bridge was a house where human survivors of the attack stay. The humans were paladins who worshipped the god Tyr. They were hunting a female devil, but the devil escaped and their party was slaughtered by gnolls. Anders, one of the paladins, offered his sword in exchange for the devil's head, but the party was not interested in helping them. Gandalf decided to keep an eye out for the devil and move on. The party continues to find a burning mansion, and they immediately tried to help the people trapped inside the inferno. The main door was stuck close, and 4 people can't force it open. But Gandalf, the absolute Chad he is, managed to break the door to smithereens in a single kick. However, little did the party know that this was the last positive thing to happen. The house was on fire and several parts of the floor were burning. But the player completely forgot to use the virtual mouse mode to let the game move characters safely across terrain. Instead, he made the entire party walk on the fire, dealing massive amounts of damage. The player carelessly opens a door that was warned to be dangerous, and it explodes in front of Gandalf's face. The player rescues a person inside the blaze, but Shadowheart and the rescued person were cut off from the exit, and the others were in fatally low health. Shadowheart tries to escape by breaking down a locked door nearby, but the fire was just too strong, and the party starts to get cooked one by one. Astarion gets burned to a crisp, Gandalf gets cooked, and the rescued person gets toasted as he and Shadowheart exits the burning building. The player wasted an embarrassing amount of time and resources, and had he remembered to push the left analog stick to use the virtual mouse, most of the problems would have been solved. But he's an idiot. Eventually, the player regroups and rescues Gandalf, Astarion, and a woman named Counselor Florrick. Florrick explains that the mansion was attacked by the Drow, and Grand Duke Ulder Ravengard was kidnapped. Florrick asked us to rescue the Grand Duke, but the team was in critical health. So instead, we head back to the Emerald Grove to rest and resupply. Back at the Grove, the player remembers to talk to Will, and we discover that he too was a scam victim, and the Grand Duke is his father. He joins us to save the life of both his own and his father, and the party welcomes him. We gathered our supplies and ventured forth once again,